Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be making a couple of easy totes that you can do in your spare time. It won't take you that long. I would say you could do these in about 10 minutes. So these are 10-minute easy crafts that you can do. And if you wanted to, these are great totes that you can sell because they're not the standard totes. So let's get right into it. But before we do not forget to like and subscribe. I will put all the measurements for every tote down below. All right, so let's get started. So you're going to need one long handle and two short handles. The seam for the tote is going to be on the bottom. So what you're going to do is just fold it, and then you're going to have your front and your back, and the bottom is already going to be closed off. When you're doing the handles, you're going to do it right face to right face, sew them down, and then turn them the right way out so that you have all the handles. Then you're going to attach them to the top part of the tote on both sides. What I did here was, because you only have one long handle, you're going to attach one piece to one side and one piece to the other side. So you'll have one piece in the front side, one piece in the back side. And then with the small handles, you're going to have them on each side. So when you're attaching them, also don't forget to attach them the way that you want them to look once you fold it up. So what I did was faced it right side to right side kind of still, and then the seam was on the inside, so that when I folded it up you didn't see it. Again, you want to make sure that when you're attaching them, you're attaching only one piece of the long strap to each side, and you can play around with it and flip it over and see how it looks to make sure that you're doing it right before you go ahead and you sew it. And you also want to make sure that you leave space for the seam allowance for the outside straps too. All right, once you're done attaching them that way, then you would I just wanted to show you how you would fold it down. Again, you can fold it down a couple of different ways. You can fold it down just one time and do a couple of layers of top stitches across to secure it, or you can fold it down two times. So you can fold it one time, sew it, fold it another time, sew it, and then go over it and top stitch it so that the straps are real secure. So you can do it several ways, but just make sure you don't fold it, because then the strap will be inside. So you just play around with it and look at it. So I folded it twice, and then I top stitched along, and then I also did the side seams, the two side seams, to get that part done with. Once you're done with that, you can turn it this way and it would be done. But if you wanted to add a little extra space to the bottom, what you would do is turn it inside out and you would make a little triangle. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is kind of like put it down on the bottom, because then you want the side seam to be in the middle of your triangle, if that makes sense. So once you have that shape, and you can pin it to make sure that it looks right before you go ahead and you sew it. So you see you have that triangle where the side seam is in the center of the triangle, and when you turn it the right way, it should look like that. So you'll have a straight line going across there. So you're going to do both. You're going to make sure they're nice and even so that the bag is nice and even, and that's it. So you can sew them, cut off the little piece in the middle, and that should be it for your tote. This one is quick, simple, and easy. All right, on to the next one. So this one, I'm just reusing some denim that I had around. I had a skirt that I didn't like the way it came out, so I'm just going to use that. The pocket is just scrap pieces that I used to make this shape. I also did a skirt like this before, which I will put that link below so you can see. But you just play around with the pieces and then you sew them together to get the kind of shape that you want from it. And then it's not going to be an even square when you're done because it's scraps. So what you're going to have to do is cut it into the shape that you want for the pocket. So what you're going to want to do is fold down the top part for the pocket so that it's nice and clean. I forgot to fold down the bottom part, but you're going to want to do that. And you're going to do the straps the same way you've done the other straps. You're going to fold them right side to right side and then go along the seam. This I didn't measure out beforehand, So I needed to play around with it to see, but you can see how it's folded in the middle. So with these straps, they're going to start at the bottom and come up around the pocket. So that's why I didn't finish off the sides there, because the straps will be covering them, and then come up to the top part of the handle. So what I'm doing here is just playing around with the measurement to see and make sure that it's the measurement that I want for it. Also, the straps weren't going to be long enough because I was using scraps. So what I just did was sewed them together at the top to get the desired length that I want. And you can see here at the bottom center where the straps met up. So you've sewed it from the bottom up and around, so it's just one long strap on each side, and it went up the side of the pockets to cover the side seams where there was a raw edge. And then once I was done with that, I just folded it right face to right face and sewed the side seams. So this one is real simple and it's real easy, and you can also do it with pre-made straps that are already done, which I didn't have, and I also wanted them to match the way the denim looked. And then again, I'm going to be opening up the bottom to make it a little bit bigger, so when you put stuff in, it's not just sitting weird. So again, you want to line the side seam up to the middle of the triangle that you're making, so that when it's done, you'll have kind of a square shape at the bottom. And again, you can play around with it to make sure that once you open it up, it looks right. So that's really it for this one. It was another quick and simple one. And the denim, I just wanted to let you know, the denim fades. So be careful when you're working with certain fabrics, because they can bleed on to other things and you. But this is it. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, so this is the last one. And I just also wanted to mention, these would also make great gifts. So you can use these to sell, you can use these for yourself, or you can give these as gifts to people. All right, so for this one, again, you're going to need 2 small straps. And I have 2 pieces at the top that I'm going to be using to pull the drawstring to, and 1 piece for the actual body of the tote, and another piece of lining measured the same. And again, I'll be putting the measurements down below. All right, so again, you're folding it and the bottom is already done, so you don't need to worry about that seam, but you're going to sew up the top 2 side seams. And I'm going to also do the handles at this time, which you're going to be folding right side to right side. So these are the 2 small handles. I'm just going to turn them the right way out, and I'm also going to turn the tote the right way out. All right, so you have that, and that's done. And then you're going to put the lining in the inside. You're not going to fold it the right way out just yet, because you need it to look like that in the inside. So what you're going to do is put it the wrong way, and you're going to face it wrong side to wrong side in the inside. Make sure everything is nice and even and lined up in there, and then it should look like this. So you have wrong side to wrong side, and you'll see the clean side in the inside of the tote. You can also use some type of facing to give it a little bit more thickness if you want at that point. All right, so I have the handles done, and I have this, and now I have to work on the top part. I'm going to fold in the side seams of the top part, and then fold them in wrong side to wrong side, not right side to right side, because this is going to be the top part and the outside. So again, I'm folding them up in the side seams, but not sewing them together. So it's going to be an opening there. So you'll see that in a second. So I've sewed the top part of the tote so that the lining is secured to the inside there. And then before you start to finish off this, you're going to need to start attaching your pieces. So you have the 2 handles, and again, you're going to be facing them right side to right side and just pinning them so that you have their position there. So I'm doing both of those on both sides, and you can measure them out to make sure that they're nice and even. All right, and you can see that once you fold it over, it is the right way. So the inside seams are on the inside, and then once you fold it down, it would look like that. So, but before you do that, you're going to need to attach the part of the drawstring. Here is I just used ribbon that I had. I did end up changing it because I wanted it to contrast. You can cut it even in half right here so that you'll have two different sets of string or ribbon on each side, or you could leave the fold there and then just have one side that you would tie. Okay, but this is the piece, and you can see I left the opening on each side of it because you're going to need to be able to pull your drawstring through. So I lined up that side seam with the side seam of the tote because that's where you'll pull it. So you're going to do that on each side and then pin it along the top. So in between this, you see you have the handle. So this is all the unfinished. Well, I finished it with the serger, but it's the kind of raw edge part. So you're lining them all up so that they're even. So you have the top part of the handles, you have the top part of the tote and the lining, and you have the piece there. So when you're done folding it, it should look like that, and your handle should be in between the tote and the drawstring part, and then you would give it a top stitch. So I've done that, sewed it down and gave it a top stitch, and then I gave it another top stitch across just the middle of the drawstring thing because I'm only going to be using the top part of it, and so that it wasn't so floppy around. And you should be able to pull it and close it, and so this way you have a cute, secure tote bag that you can use. You can open and close and put things in. So it's kind of like a drawstring backpack, if you would. And you can see here where I change the string, and that is it. So don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions about any of the totes that I didn't cover in here, please leave me a comment below and I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, I'll see you in the next one.